Hi guys, so we've recently had a few questions about visas and decided to make this video so we can give you as much information as we can. Also, to help you out, we've created a post on our website that contains the links to all the official government pages and lists that we refer to in this video, and we'll pop a link to that post in the description below.
So the first question we usually get is, do I need a visa to visit Vietnam? And the short answer is yes. While there are a few countries that are currently offered visa exemptions, this list is always changing, and they're usually only for short stays of up to maybe 15 days. If you think that might work for you, then like Tash said, check the post on our website and you can see if your country is eligible. But for the majority of people, you're going to need a visa to visit Vietnam.
Great, so now that you know you need a visa, which visa do you need? Today we're going to cover the three most common options, which are e-visas, tourist visas and business visas.
E-visas are relatively new to Vietnam. There's currently around 46 countries are offered this option. So again, check the post on our website, there'll be a link to that list. And they're available for stays of up to 30 days as a single entry option only. It's a simple do-it-yourself online process through the official government website, and it has a one-off payment that you also do online, which means there's no extra fees when you arrive in the country.
So our next option is the tourist visa, and you can get these for 1 or 3 months as well as single and multiple entry options. If you're not sure what that means, single entry is you come into the country once, you stay here and then you leave the country. Multiple entry means you come and go as many times as you like, as long as it's within the validity of the visa.
And the third option is a business visa. So obviously if you're coming to Vietnam for business or as part of a business trip, this is the option you'd go for. But it may also be one to consider for those thinking of coming to Vietnam for the long term. The reason I say this is because business visas are available in 3 and 6 month periods as single or multiple entry options, but they're also available in 6 and 12 month periods as multiple entry options only. So for those that are thinking of coming to Vietnam for longer than 3 months, this will be more of an expense up front, but could save you both time and money in the long run, as it will eliminate the need to do visa runs or visa extensions. And another note would be for those thinking of converting their license to a Vietnamese driver's license while they're here. Those conversions are only valid for the length of your visa. So again, longer term visa means you only have to do the conversion the one time.
Right, now that you know which visa type you need, how do you get your visa? For e-visas, as we've covered before, it's a simple do-it-yourself online process, and it's done through the government's official website. For business and tourist visa, you have 2 options, one being the visa on arrival, but you can only get it if you are flying into Vietnam, one of the 4 main international airports, which are Hanoi, Danang, Nha Trang and Ho Chi Minh City. The process can sound a little complicated and difficult, but to be honest, it's pretty straightforward and simple.
So the first step to getting your visa on arrival is obtaining a letter of approval. This is an official letter from the Vietnamese Immigration Department that states they give you permission to enter the country and allow you to pick your visa up from the airport. In order to obtain a letter of approval, you will need to use the services of an online agent. A quick Google search will yield hundreds of options there. However, we do urge you to do your research on any agent you may consider using, as we have heard of scams where people send in their money and the letter never arrives. We will include a link to the agent we've used in the post on our website. We've used them for a couple of tasks now and had no problems. However, obviously we can't take any control or responsibility over their actions in the future, so maybe just use it as a reference point for starting your own research. There are fees for the services of these agents, and they will vary from agent to agent and also depend on the type of visa you're applying for. As well as payment for their fee, you'll need to send any agent copies of your passport, given your date of arrival, and also the name of the airport you're arriving into. Once your agent has this info, they'll process all of that and then send you your letter of application. This should be a 2-page document And the first page will state you're given permission to apply for a visa, and the second page will have all the details on that you gave the agent. Now don't be surprised if the second page has other people's details on it as well, as it's not unusual for agents to do bulk applications.
Once you land in Vietnam, in addition to your letter of approval, you will also need a visa application form and 2 passport photos. Our advice is to download the form or ask your agent to send it to you and fill it out before you leave. Having your paperwork ready at the airport means you can jump straight into the queue for window 1 at the visa on landing counter. Once you've reached the officer at window 1, you will need to give him the completed visa application form, the 2 pages of the letter of approval, 2 passport photos and your actual passport. Then you can grab a seat and wait. When you hear your name being called, head on over to window 2 where they will give you the passport with the visa inside. It's very important that 1, you check it's your passport, and 2, you check that the visa details inside are correct, i.e. your name, passport number, entry and exit dates and the entry option. If anything is incorrect, you need to sort it there and then, because having anything change once you go through border control is very unlikely. If everything is correct and you're happy with it, then you need to pay the officer the stamp fee. The amount for the stamp fee depends on your visa type and the entry option that you've chosen, and your agent should be able to confirm this for you. If not, you can check it online too. We advise that you pay in US dollar and make sure that you have the exact amount. We say this because we've heard stories of inflated exchange rates using the Vietnamese dong, or no change being given to people who didn't have the exact amount. Once you've made payment and you have your passport in hand, that's it, visa is done. You can then freely proceed on to border control.
For those wanting a business or tourist visa who aren't entering Vietnam through one of those 4 main airports, the option available to you is often referred to as an embassy visa. So these visas are issued by Vietnamese embassies outside of Vietnam, ideally in the country you live in or the country you're departing from. You can apply for these visas yourself, either in person at the embassy or via post, which does mean having your passport going back and forth through the mail system. Or in some countries, there are agencies that can do all of this for you. Again, so long as you're willing to leave your passport with them and pay their fee. The cost for these visas is set by the embassies themselves, so it varies depending on which country you're applying in. And the information you'll need to provide is pretty much the same as for a visa on arrival. However, the big difference is you'll complete all the forms and pay all the stamp fees before you even leave for Vietnam. This means when you do arrive, you can head straight to border control and shouldn't have any more to pay. The biggest thing to note with an embassy visa is that it must be in your passport before you leave for Vietnam. If you don't have it in there, you may not even get on your flight, and you certainly won't get into Vietnam.
Well, that's it for visas. Phew. Hopefully we've answered all your questions, but don't forget to check the link to our post in the description below, as it does have all the information and links that we referred to in this video.
And if you do have any other questions about visas or travelling in Vietnam, feel free to hit us up in the comments and we'll answer as best we can. If you found any of the information in this video useful, hit that like button, give us a thumbs up. If you haven't already, click subscribe. Come along on our adventures as we continue to travel through Vietnam.
And see you next time.
Bye!